Hi everyone, and welcome to Daily with Ali podcast, your daily dose of wisdom. The purpose of our podcast is for us to learn to be better humans one day at a time. Every episode will explore a wise quote or intriguing idea that will expand your emotional intelligence and soften your heart. This being said, let's get into it. The idea we will discuss today is: so many people aren't ready until you walk away. Well, this is more than a common situation in romantic relationships. I would say it happens more often to men to not be ready to step up or commit until they are faced with the possibility of losing their woman. And psychologically wise, this can be explained in various ways. Men may not be ready to commit because they are really not at that stage of development in their lives to do so. Some don't want because the offer on the market, so to speak, is really rich, and it is genuinely hard for them to pick only one woman to settle with. Not willing to choose one woman to commit to can also come out of fear. And when I say this, I'm not talking about the fear of missing out, but the fear of being rejected later on, dumped or used and left. A lot of men have unaddressed issues from past romantic relationships which hinder their current ability to actually open up their hearts, be vulnerable and truly connect with their woman. So although there are many explanations of why your man or your woman is not ready to commit, that should not interfere with your own path and desire to settle down. Many people suffer in relationships because they just try to be more understanding of their partner than they should. And what I mean by that is that they disregard what they feel and truly desire. They disregard their priorities and their truth because their partner has a good explanation on why they don't raise up to their expectations. And that is when we date someone's potential rather than what they're actually giving us. And that is when we end up feeling disappointed and depleted and oftentimes lost. Because this is what happens in the process. You lose yourself into someone else's world and limitations. Now coming back to our quote of today. So many people aren't ready until you walk away. And I have a question for you. Are people truly ready when you walk away, or do they just fool themselves into believing they are? What actually makes people appear to be ready when you walk away? Because there is a huge difference between actually being ready and appearing to be ready. And the common answer is: people often want to seem ready because they fear of losing the ones they fancy or they love. However, here is something that I invite you to be mindful of in the future. What are the dangers of continuing a relationship with someone who, at the shock of a breakup, decided that they actually are ready to commit? And when do we actually know for sure that that person is ready to commit? These are aspects to truly sit and think about. And from the get-go, I'm telling you that when a man is, let's say, 90% ready to step up, this type of a wake-up call from you will help him make a decision sooner than later, a decision that is congruent with what he wants, a decision that you as a woman can trust. An example of that would be when two adults are in a relationship for 2 years and the woman has clearly stated her expectations from the beginning, that she wants to settle down in 3 years' time and have a family. At that point, if the man is still not showing signs of making any decision, she can legitimately decide to walk away from the relationship because their paths seems not to be in alignment for the long run. When she decides to walk away, the man, if he actually considered proposing but was just stretching the timeline a bit, he might now just become very certain on his decision, realizing how much he appreciates her and wants her in his life. He can now propose and they continue together. However, if you want an authentic decision, it is better not to force anyone's hand and be really cautious of those who all of a sudden want you back. If before you wanted to go away, they didn't show interest in you or your needs. The reason why they bounced back might have nothing to do with how much they value you, and this makes their decision very shallow and probably not long-lasting. An example of this situation would be, two young people are dating, and the young lady withholds being intimate with the young man until he makes a commitment for a monogamous relationship with her. He doesn't agree on the spot, but when she attempts to leave him and she stops answering his calls, he flips the script, asks her out, and then asks her to be his girlfriend, telling her that he made up his mind. So many women believe men in this situation, and I'm not here to say that some of them are not genuine, but for the majority of times, men and women make these rushed decisions because they are not willing to let go of the benefits of being with the other person, not because they truly want the commitment with all that it means. This is why my advice to you is this. When you decide to leave a relationship, do not accept rushed comebacks. If you made your decision that you want to part ways with somebody, then give them time aside, separate from you, to make their own decisions. Do not accept decisions on the spot, because they are taken under the pressure and fear of losing you and what you bring to their lives, and they are not honest and fair to you. Ultimatums never truly work in our favor because there is a whole internal process that the other person has to go through in order to decide with their own mind and soul what they truly want. So respect that and give people time apart if they show up willing to commit. I would say that a month away from each other is a good start, and it can bring clarity for both of you if you make sure to limit the contact with each other to as little as possible. At this point, I can only hope that this podcast brought you a bit more perspective and will help you choose wiser if you ever find yourself in this situation in the future. This being said, I want to thank you again for taking the time to tune in and listen. Make sure to subscribe for more and share in the comments below any topics that you would love me to tackle in the next episodes. I am Elisa, and until next time, remember, you have all the answers deep within. My mission is to take you there.